I am just about to start reading the chapter 8 from the RockCon series. Right here, my handy dandy little Brad notebook. If you feel like you want to give kudos, that's fine. I'll be happy for that. So just letting you know I'm nervous. There we go. Alright, chapter 8. Ugh, the smell of pot is strong in this one, Easton said when he entered the green room we were supposed to get ready in. Neo took a deep breath in, let it out, then took a swig from his beer. At least I'll have a nice little buzz before I get on stage. I'm gonna have to stand in the hall or I'm gonna sing like a frog, Xander said after stepping 1 foot into the room. Jackson shoved past Xander and said, "Pussy, the world would end if Pretty Boy sang like a frog." I grabbed Xander's hand. "We don't want your best Kermit impression on stage. Come on, let's go look for the food table. Maybe by the time we are done stuffing our faces, these guys would have breathed in all the fumes, and then we can come back and get ready." As we were making our way out of the green room, I heard Neo whisper, "I say within 5 minutes they are in a storage closet bumping uglies." As I shut the door behind me, I flipped Neo the bird. He pointed at me just as the knob latched in, but I still heard through the door. "You are my witnesses," she confirmed it. Xander threw his arm over my shoulder and chuckled. "You love giving that poor bastard a hard time, don't you?" I held my hand up and threaded my fingers with his and draped with his that was draped across my shoulder as we walked down to the room they were keeping all the food. As we stepped in the room, it quieted down, and most of all the heads turned our way. Xander immediately released my hand, took his arm off my shoulder, and walked to the table that had some beer on it. I don't know how long I stood there in front of the door, watching him move around the room and accepting hugs from random female groupies. "That man is one hot tamale," said Cecilia, our soundboard technician. "You guys have known each other for a long time, right? How come you've never sampled that hot dish?" I finally stopped shooting death glares at the groupies, who were still groping Xander, and turned to look at Celia. "You've been hanging around the guys for too long. You've turned into one big horn dog as the guys are." She let out a throaty laugh that drew the attention of several of the guys in the room. "As one of the only other unattached females on this tour, it sure comes in handy sometimes." She winked at me before moving on to grab some food before the bands took the stage. After watching Xander get pawed for a few more moments before turning and leaving the room, I had a weird sensation I've never felt on this level in my chest. I've never been jealous much before, so the feeling was foreign to me. As I reached the door of our green room, it flew open, and Neo, Jackson, and Easton came stumbling out, laughing like schoolgirls who met their star crushes. I took a step back to avoid the laughing gaggle of rockers. When Neo looked at my face, his smile dropped and muttered, "Damn fucker." Easton looked at me and asked, "What did he do? Do we need to kick his ass?" I took a deep breath, then let it out. "No, it's fine. I'll let him do him." All three walked past me. Jackson put a hand on my shoulder as he passed and headed towards the food, no doubt to feed the munchies they were experiencing from the leftover pot fog. In the room alone, I flopped down on the grungy couch that I'm sure had seen more one-night stands than a sleazy motel room. I leaned over and put my head in my hands in hopes to alleviate the headache that was coming on. We had to play in 2 hours, and a headache was a bad thing, especially at a rock concert. I got up and decided I better take something and began to apply my makeup. After popping a few pain relievers, I began to apply my stage makeup. If it were up to me, I'd only wear eyeliner because of simplicity. But it was decided that I would apply a ton of black eyeliner and I would wear bombshell red lips. Just as I was adding the point on my eyeliner wing, the door flew open and a half-naked woman barged in, dragging what looked like a reluctant Xander behind her. His eyes got real big when he spotted me. "Come on, Xander, you know you want me to blow you again." Hearing this, I slammed the rest of my makeup in my bag and turned around to leave. I knew I shouldn't be jealous, but all day today I was, and it pissed me off. I was walking past him in the doorway when he stopped me by grabbing my arm. "Don't go." The half-naked girl, who was still holding on to Xander, practically purring, Tegan joining us? Sounds like double the fun." I removed my arm from Xander's grasp and patted the girl on the cheek. "Aw, aren't you adorable? Thinking I swang in that way." I winked at him, then left the room, walking quietly down the hall. I heard a scuffle behind me, then Xander's voice came through. "Come on now, you know assaulting a rock star isn't exactly a smart idea." I couldn't help but tease, so I turned around and blew a kiss just as security rushed by. "You bitch, see if I buy any of your albums again." Apparently still in bitch mode, I made a heart with my hands and then blew it up. Then I added to the effect by running a finger down my cheek, simulating a tear while frowning. I heard laughter behind me, then there was an arm thrown around my shoulder. It was Neo. He was laughing so hard he had to grab his gut. "Boy, I think Tegan is 100% back from the dead. Bravo," he started clapping. "Standing O, the best burn I've seen in a long time." But this time the girl was being hauled away by security, and Xander was glaring down at me. "Not cool. Don't encourage her, Neo." I noticed behind him the stage manager was signaling that we had 5 minutes to be on stage. I patted Xander on the cheek, much the same way I did with the half-naked girl. "We ready to rock?" I started to walk toward the stage. "Oh, they should most definitely encourage me, because if I do it again, you can punish me." As I left our little group gathered in the hall, I heard multiple reactions. Easton's, "Shit, man." Jackson's, "Fuck me, I can't go out on stage thinking about that." In reply to Jackson, "At least you have a guitar to hide your boner. Xander has to sing with the massive heart-on he has at the moment," Neo commented. I walked past the opening act, which were 3 sisters with a male drummer. "Hey, Tegan, what are you doing after the set?" asked Noah, the drummer. "I'm not completely sure. You guys got the bus tonight, or are you crashing at the hotel like we are? I think there's a bar there. Probably gonna toss back a few there," I said as I picked up my bass. He turned and walked backwards, saying, "Well, maybe we'll see you there." He waved his goodbye. Neo walked past Noah and glared at him before coming to stop beside me. He wants in your pants so bad," he said while spinning his drumsticks. "Noah?" Neo nodded when I questioned him. "He's just a kid. He's what, 18? I have 10 years on him." He let out a frustrated noise. "Older women are sexy." By that time, Jackson and Easton came by and picked up their instruments. Xander was probably off doing last-minute vocal warm-ups. We all began fidgeting in anticipation for the MC to announce us. "Once the MC starts, I hope you all are ready to have your faces rocked off, because once Waters Run Deep comes out, your faces are going to be on the floor. Give it up for Waters Run Deep." The audience roared, and my adrenaline spiked, which caused me to run across the stage with a great deal of pep in my step. I took up my spot on the left of where Xander would be soon taking up beside me. I threw up a pair of rock horns while waiting for the guys to come out. As Xander finally made his way to the stage, the screams, especially female screams, grew. He winked at me as he grew closer to me with a smile on his face. I knew at that moment he had something up his sleeve. As he passed me, he slapped my ass. And it wasn't a sweet little love tap. This was a leave a big fat handprint on my right ass cheek. I rubbed my rear with my right hand while I pointed at the horns of my left hand, still in the rock horns, to my eyes and then pointed them at him. He turned left to face me and then smiled the biggest shit-eating grin, then brought up his own rock horns, brought it up to his face, and then flicked his tongue out between the horns. My eyes grew wide, and I heard 3 sets of laughter ring through the microphones. Geez, guys, we've been telling you for weeks to go work off that sexual tension at the last hotel, or at least tell us to get off the bus. 'Cause when the bus starts rocking with 2 bandmates doing each other, the other 3 go running, Jackson announced into his mic. I groaned, not realizing my mic was on. Neo jumped up from his stool behind his drum set and pointed at me. She'll be doing a lot of that because I've heard some very satisfied sounds from past women Xander's been with. Oh, God, I exclaimed. Easton laughed. She'll be screaming that a lot, too. I played a short riff on my bass. Can we play already? I asked as the last chords carried into nothingness. Xander leaned into his microphone and said, "Well, you heard the lady. She wants to go play, so we're going to go get that bus a rocket." He took a few steps toward me, but I held up my hands. "Hold up, Casanova. First off, you're just pissed at me for my reaction to that half-naked groupie. Secondly, you're pulling the same reaction I did to me agreeing to get a casual drink with Noah, the drummer from the Blacked Out Twisters. And finally, you'll never get near the V if you keep up this pissing contest that apparently the Peanut Gallery is egging on." Xander got up in my space to share my mic. And what reaction is that? I stared into his eyes I have always loved the color of. For a moment I let myself get lost in their blue depths. I didn't notice that Xander had brought his hand up until he touched my face to get me to answer his question. "Jealousy," I whispered. Someone yelled out in the crowd that they didn't hear what I said. "Louder," I said. "Jealousy, damn it." I grabbed Xander by the nape of his neck and brought his lips down to mine, my bass protesting to the impact of our bodies colliding by causing a nasty reverb. We could have gone on, but Neo's voice pulled me away. "All right, lovebirds, that's enough. We have an audience here who paid to hear us play and not watch you all make out all night. They can wait for the sex tape I'll be directing to see all that soon." Ew, no, Neo. But I do agree that we owe this great crowd some music for watching this mushy crap. So let's get this show on the road and count it out. I threw my pick at Neo and grabbed a new one. I looked over my shoulder at the guys. "You owe me 500 new picks, each one of you, for this stunt. Now let's play." Alright, that was Chapter 8 of the Rock God first one, which is Tegan and Xander's story. Backstory, they started this band in high school. They all joined in, and I think I've based all my stories somewhere around in the Missouri area because that's what I know. And so we just have lots of Missouri related things. This is a story I've started over because I was writing myself in circles, basically. So I'm nervous about getting it out there. I know that I saw that Sam was on and was watching, and she was the first recipient of the very first story I was able to finish fully, and she's the first beta reader of the first story, and so hope you all liked it. Give me feedback. Okay, bye.